I'm going to share with you a bit of a distillation, if you will, and an empowerment practice to look at your whole self as it pertains to your experience with menopause. We're going to be doing a lot of physical practices in here. And of course, we'll be doing pranayama and mudra and meditation as well. But as a yoga therapist, the main map, I'm going to call it a map, that I utilize to think about my experience and also encourage clients to think about is the map of the koshas. And you don't need to really know all there is to know about the koshas to understand simply that the kosha model and map looks at the whole person. So bio, psycho, social, emotional, spiritual, and mental, right? And so in Western medicine, we are starting, or maybe long have understood that too. But that's really the map that yoga uses, the koshas, the multidimensional aspect of our being. And when I think about menopause, yes, I want to ease the hot flashes and handle the mood swings, but there's more to it too, right? How has my connection to my life journey, purpose, and path changed? What do I come to know about my spirituality, and how am I looking at that differently, perhaps? And so that's a map that we'll use in this course and that we use in yoga and yoga therapy. And I think another really useful lens is Ayurveda. And of course, yoga and Ayurveda are hand in hand, sister sciences. And according to Ayurveda, this season of life that we're in right now is the Vata season, regardless of what your dosha is, because you probably know a little bit about that. If you do, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But the season of life that typically occurs after the age of 40 or even 50, some might say, is the Vata season. And that's characterized by movement, by change, by lightness, by brittleness. And so because that's the season that we're in, and because we're a reflection of nature itself, those qualities are more experienced at this time of our lives too. So what do we do with that, right? Knowing that we are in the Vata season, well, Ayurveda and yoga would say that we pacify that. What can we do to pacify the Vata, the scatteredness, the shiftiness, the insomnia that goes along with it, the brittleness? What can we do to pacify? And at the same time, what can we do to stimulate the Agni? So that's the fire, right? Because that diminishes in the Vata season. And what can we do to nourish the tissues? And in tonight's practice, that's really going to be our little introduction. So entering this Vata season. And so we'll look at the whole person, we'll look at what it means to help pacify Vata, and we're going to get started, okay? I do want to acknowledge my teachers, Indu Aurora and Joseph LePage and Chinnamasta Stiles, those three in particular. And those of you that are here that have studied with those individuals as well, you'll see that I've drawn some of the practices from their teaching. So we're going to start by lying down. And if you're able to, lie down in a supported, maybe a restorative, and I say that because you might or may not have the props, Supta Baddha Konasana. So I've got a bolster to support my spine. I've got a blanket to support my head. I've got the bolster slightly elevated at the head end. And then I've got two more blocks. And so as I lie back, the bolster is going right into my low back. Gently, I'm kind of even molding it there. The blanket supports the head. You can even roll it a little bit more. And then the two blocks are supporting underneath the knees. And so as you're here, see if you can get comfortable. And if this is not a comfortable position for you, what we're going to do here, you're welcome to lie down in any other shape or even sit up. And we'll just start here, settling. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose, perhaps even out the mouth. And then you might close your mouth as you come to your natural breath. And let your arms, your hands rest as you want them to. Where would they feel comfortable right now? And let your physical body here be received by the support that's beneath it. And the props can provide a little gentle opening, a soft place to land, an expansion across the chest, an opening in the throat. And while you're here, I'm going to invite you to scan through those different layers of yourself with particular attention to your experience presently or through your menopause journey. And so we'll start with the physical body and just noticing how it is tonight. Where you feel sensation, what might feel open, maybe what feels a little tight or tense. And perhaps considering your physical body and the specific changes that have been taking place as a result of perimenopause or menopause, postmenopause. Where have you felt that in your physical body? And perhaps you've experienced hot flashes, right? Or joint pain, other pains that are a little less descript. Changes in your eyesight, in your hair, the color and texture, in your skin, and the different functions of your body. So just considering that, acknowledging those changes. Without judgment. And then bringing your awareness to your energy. Maybe just starting by noticing your breath right now and how it is. its rhythm, its flow, its quality. And also considering changes to your energy. What has been your experience? Your sleep and how it's been impacted, your ability to maintain energy and focus. Just recognizing what that's been like for you. And then bringing your awareness a little further in, recognizing your mind, your mental and emotional body. Noticing right now if there's any thoughts or feelings present, as there often are. And if there's a particular quality or felt sense to your experience right now, particular thought that speaks a little louder than another. And acknowledging changes that may have come about. Perhaps your moods feel less stable. What is it for you? Maybe even recognizing what areas of the mental and emotional body are calling for healing. And then further in even. Considering your belief system. Sensing your purpose, your path, and your relationship to it now compared to your younger years. And maybe some of the gifts in your wisdom body that have come through the age that you are now on this planet, acknowledging that aspect of yourself too. And then lastly, contemplating your bliss body. And maybe that's something that you have a real direct experience with. Other times, maybe a fleeting glimpse. What does bring you joy? When do you experience moments of wonder and awe? And how have those moments changed? In some ways, perhaps, they feel more present at this stage of life, the ability to connect in that way. And then recognizing your whole self here, from your physical to the energetic, the mental, emotional, the wisdom, and the bliss body, all of you here, whole person, moving through this life experience, and the interconnectedness of all of our layers. And once again, as you consider the whole of you, just acknowledging what areas are calling for healing at this time in your life. And then I'm going to invite you to take your hands into Trimurti Mudra. So it's a downward pointing triangle. The thumbs touch, the palms rest on your body, right there at the pelvis. You can look at me if you want. Yep, to get a visual. And you're letting the hands rest here, creating this downward pointing triangle, Trimurti Mudra. And just taking several natural breaths and attuning to all the sensations evoked by the gesture. Maybe you feel the warmth of your hands there, the slow and gentle movement of breath there. And your hands are resting right down on your body. And the three sides of your triangle represent your body, your mind, and your spirit. And the triangle symbolizes the balance and harmony of all three of those parts. And when in balance, offering you the ability to make life transitions with greater ease, with greater equanimity. And staying with it for a few more moments here. Simply sensing your breath, the rhythm of it within your triangle of equanimity as a reflection of this continual process of renewal and release, inhaling new possibilities and exhaling all that no longer supports your journey. And I offer you the mantra that accompanies this mudra, and if it resonates, you can repeat it silently to yourself. Centered in my triangle of equanimity, I embrace life transitions more fluidly. Centered in my triangle of equanimity, I embrace life transitions more fluidly. Centered in my triangle of equanimity, I embrace life transitions more fluidly. And when you feel ready, you can release the gesture. You can let your legs slide out, maybe stretch. and move in other ways. Let your breath deepen a little bit. And we're going to come off the prop. So take your time and move slowly in transition.